What is going on, Cyberfam? Looks like Cathie Wood and ARK are getting RKO'd by Randy Orton and Wall Street combined like a tag team. Get it? RKO? RK. Alright, I thought it was funny. My bad. I just read this news that investors pull around $352 million out of RK, and the sky is falling. Everything is coming to an end, guys. Happiness is forever lost in the wilderness, and we are completely, just totally screwed. I mean, who am I kidding? 352 million is like less than 3% of RK. So I don't know, but let me be honest with you though. Like, I do watch all the presentations that like Cathie Wood does with her monthly informative stuff that she puts out on ARK Invest YouTube. I do have some issues with it, okay? So from the previous year, so from 2021, she took a massive hit. Check this out. This is a 2-year chart of RK and what it's been doing. We're back at like August 2020 prices. It's down like 40% and S&P is up like 25%. You're losing like a massive 60% delta, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. But here's the thing, guys, right? This kind of stuff is actually warranted right now because we are moving, like there's a lot of people moving out of growth and going into value. Of course, guys, we all know why this is. When interest rates go up, growth suffers, mainly because growth has to borrow money to actually provide value in the future. This is going to happen. The thing is, on top of this cyclical action that's happening, there's also this whole inflation gambit. There's also the tapering scare. There's interest rate hike. While we're on this topic, can we just call something out here for a second? The Fed has absolutely sucked rotten eggs this entire time. It's like they're either hot or cold. They're never in the middle. Like the few people you want to be completely stoic through this whole thing, who you're relying on to, like, you know, help provide the economy with a necessary boost and sort of be level-headed, are the exact same people that are being either this way or that way. It's like they can't make their mind up on anything. I feel like I'm dealing with like a toddler over here, and I'm already dealing with the toddler at home. So many things are happening right now, so to me it kind of warrants as to why it's down. I'm not justifying it, to be honest. It sucks. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sell anything, obviously. I do believe in Cathie Wood's vision. I think, you know, the lady's got some good research, man, and she bases everything on research. And I do actually agree with her that we're getting a convergence of some major stuff in the market because, to be honest, I live some of it. Like, I live the tech side of it, where AI is affecting everything. And I see the effects of blockchain and how it's sort of taking over some of the DeFi world and all these other things, right? This is not something that is for the faint of heart. Her strategy is you bet on the companies that are going to grow like crazy, or you think that are going to grow like crazy, and you're basically weighing that the upside is going to be far greater than the downside. So this kind of bet will almost always have this massive roller coaster type effect, right? Just think about it, guys, okay? If you wanted something stable, go to an index. I used to invest actually in indexes before, and I got some pretty good returns, pretty predictable returns. You can plan vacations around it, but you know, if you really want to make the gains, you're going to have to take that gamble. And although I do agree with Cathie Wood, I got to admit, there are some things that are a little bit sketchy for me, right? So for instance, I don't really understand Zoom. I know, you know, Chris Patel, the guy I did a podcast with just earlier, he's super bullish on Zoom. And maybe, you know, let me know if you guys want me to have him back on to talk about Zoom, because I really want to know more. I use it literally every day, and I don't see it, right? Another one is Roku. I really don't get it. I've taken a look at their offerings, and I think it's just like, okay, I don't see it affecting that many people to actually have a massive impact, but I'll look into it again. I mean, a few things like that, I'm not too sure. Teladoc, I'm super bullish on. There's something that I used like that before, and it was literally like a huge difference. I think Teladoc is actually gonna change lives in the future, and I think it has a good potential moving forward. UiPath is another one I think is actually a good company moving forward. Things like that I get. Unity, all these things I totally understand. Index investing is a little boring for me, so I'm okay leaving some of my funds with Cathie Wood. And I get it. Some parts of what she says, it seems like she's grasping at straws. It just seems like she's just pulling shite out of thin air. Manheim Index, M2 money growth, inflation, tapering, supply chain. That's my best impression of Cathie Wood. I know it's bad. I'm sorry. I'll stop. We're at the stage now where if you're looking for the kind of data, you're going to find the answer you're looking for, right? It really just matters on how you're going to read this. The truth is, to be honest, guys, I think what's going to happen is this whole inflation bit's going to just kind of ruin us for this whole year. and we're just going to go back into that growth cycle again, to be honest, because I think COVID has really made a big difference in terms of how business works and how people operate and how the future looks. This year, I think, is just a capitulation where markets are really getting scared of inflation and all these after effects of what happened during COVID, so to speak. We'll see. I think Cathie's got some good insights into how inflation is happening. I don't really totally agree with her with the whole supply chain thing. I mean, we can see it every day, right? We can see all the goods being inflated. I know houses are being inflated like crazy where I am. So I understand that there's bigger market macros that are taking effect. So I don't fully agree with her. I do understand that there are supply chain constraints that are causing some issues in the overall US economy. Even if she does kind of go on about supply chain and doesn't sometimes try to focus on the larger picture of the inflation bit, I do think that growth is eventually going to just absolutely crush. The question is, when is it going to catch back up, right? So this year, to be honest, 2022, I think is going to be an absolute just gutter of a year. I really don't think that there's going to be any crazy news. If anything, the market is just going to stay stagnant. So you'll have lots of up and down swings. So if you really want, there's going to be lots of opportunities for you guys to buy, right? I know I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to take some time to chill. I'm actually out of money. It's not like I'm sitting on a pile of cash or anything. But what I'm going to do is, until I can build up a bigger pile of money, I'm not going to put anything into the market until I know that the tapering is going to be a little more predictable. And I'm going to go from there. A lot of the money I have in ARK is mainly with like some registered accounts. So things like RRSPs and stuff like that, my IRA. So it's more so stuff that I'm willing to wait. Do you know what I mean? So for something like Tesla as part of their holdings, Zoom, what else? Teladoc, all these things, they're a multi-year type of company. Tesla, maybe not so much. That's a generational company that if you miss now, you're going to miss forever kind of thing. But the rest of them, they're fighting now. The tech is great. I can see the promise. The question is, what is the adoption going to be? You got to ask yourself that question, okay? Look around you, do your research. I got to call it how it is, man. I'm just going to tell you guys straight up. But outside of that, I'm with it, Cathie, I think she's a great fund manager. Of course, everyone has their problems. I haven't bought ARK in 4 months. I kind of knew this kind of stuff was going to happen. And by doing that, I didn't take that much of a hit. Of course, I'm in the red, but I saved a little bit of percentage points by not buying when it was at like 130, 140, right? Now it's like at 80. On top of all this, I think the media is going to completely skewer her because, they did have to kind of admit that Cathie was right in 2020 and a little bit of 2021. She was like the golden girl of 2020, right? Shout out to Betty White, man. Rest in peace. If the media makes you, they're going to break you. I think they're going to have their field day just covering how wrong Cathie Wood was or whatever, all this. But really, this is just a mix of macro combined with like market movements with cyclical action combined with inflation combined with just a perfect storm of events for ARK case. So if you're an investor in ARK, let me know, man. What are you doing? Are you selling? Are you buying? Are you holding? What are you going to do? What are you doing? I know me, I'm holding, I'm not buying any. I'm just going to wait for a bit. When maybe the first or second taper comes out, I might look into getting into more positions with all my stock. So I know with ARK specifically, I really had a feeling it's sensitive to these kind of market events. So, this doesn't really surprise me too much, but you're going to see this news more and more. I think as Cathie trades in and out of her positions, you're going to see her go into her high conviction stocks more so, like Palantir and Tesla and all these other things. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. I mean, hopefully you guys aren't freaking out. You don't really realize the loss until you actually sell. So just be careful, do your research, and we can take it from there. That's it for me. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.